coming to us from Chicago, Illinois. All right, Oliver, thanks for being on. What's top of mind?
Well, I think the wheat market, after just been beaten to death for several months in a row, are finally showing some signs of life. Their longest streak of gains for quite some time now, and now reaching some levels that we haven't seen since August. The top end of the range from August was near 670, so that's kind of the next barrier that we're keeping a close eye on. But today's price action was really constructive. We saw a dip lower this morning, looked like it was going to pull back off of overbought territory, but buyers stepped in. And when you see buyers step in on a little pullback like that, I think it's encouraging for higher price action. Now, some of this could just be some short covering ahead of tomorrow's report and into the year end. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that continue here and over the next several weeks, especially if we continue to see China step up and show up in some of those flash sale reports. And if wheat is able to work higher, I think that really benefits the corn market as well, where there's not really a whole lot of good news in the corn market on its own. But if wheat keeps rallying, I would imagine that drags corn higher with it.
Yeah, maybe we got to, I agree with you. I mean, you mentioned about short covering. I think maybe we got the smaller, maybe funds that don't have as much staying power, maybe covering some of those shorts. And at the same time, that 10-year yield dipped the last time I checked about 15, 20 minutes ago. It was around 4.11. So that's got the dollar a lot cheaper. That might be helping out too. So on days like this, all he needs is a little whiff of something. They kind of take off. But stay right there. We need to go away. We're going to pay some bills. And we're going to come back and talk more with Oliver Sloup. We're going to talk about livestock. We'll be right back after this. Let's bring in our guest analyst. He's been patiently waiting in the wings. That's Oliver Sloup from Blue Line Futures. Real quick, Oliver, anything you want to get off your chest when it comes to these meats?
Well, I kind of wish we didn't have to talk about it. I'm getting sick of looking at the cattle market every single day, and that's, I mean, generally the sign that we're probably near a low is when I'm tired of looking at it. But it's interesting to note, looking at the CVOL index that the CME puts out, which is a measure of volatility, it's at its highest levels in over 2 years. And historically, when we see volatility rise, it's usually a pop and a quick drop. But we've seen this volatility linger at multi-year highs for some times, which indicates it's still a lot of uncertainty out there. And when we're talking about uncertainty, we're also looking at sentiment, looking at a few different indicators. We're seeing the bullish sentiment at the lowest level since the start of COVID. So these are generally some signs that we could be closer to a bottom. That's when everyone kind of throws in the towel. We can do that. I don't know that we've gotten there yet. I thought we have a few times, but have been proven wrong. Yep. And it goes back to that old saying, the bottom is a process, not necessarily a point.
To your point, we used to like it, you want to get long at about the time the milkman wants to get short, right? So you got to, when it gets out there into the news, and we'll see. But yeah, I agree with you on that sentiment. Boy, oh boy. And it's good to see a change, too, because there hasn't been a lot of joy in there. All right, I got to run. They're yelling at me to wrap. Thank you very much for being on. Oliver Sloup, Blue Line Futures. Have a great weekend. I'm bringing it back here to Nashville, and hand it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Scott. Well, having access to proper health care, it is a big concern.